What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout spot where you already know it's real talk, boxing talk, live from our man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and I am your host for another edition of the Hangout spot live. This time we're in the Thursday night edition, baby. Almost the end of the week, man, and you know how we do it up here, man. Always looking forward to fight weekends. We got fights this weekend, but tonight we got a banging interview, man. We got the champ, the WBO welterweight champion, Brian Norman Jr. will be in the building. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. I had to download that soundbite just for him, man, because I thought it was only fitting, man. What a spectacular first title defense this weekend against Derek Cuevas, a third round stoppage. So we're going to get him up in here, man. He's a hot commodity right now, so I appreciate him coming to the Hangout spot and showing us some love, man. I just want to get his take on what went down and, more importantly, what the future holds. And last but not least, y'all know Norman Jr. is a big old school fan, so I got some old school questions lined up for him. So if you're an old school boxing fan, we doing it up tonight. And then yesterday, man, shout out to Brian Norman Sr., the father and trainer of the WBO welterweight champion. He was in the building with us, banging interview like always, man. I've had him up in here a few times. Every time he comes up, he never disappoints. And y'all know how I rock with the Normans, man. They family. They are family for me. You know, they're family to me, man. They show me love. But it was a great interview, man. For those of you that rocked out with us last night, I appreciate the love and support, but if you did not see that interview, make sure you check it out right now. After this is over, at the Hangout spot on YouTube, man. After every one of my lives, the videos go right onto the channel, man, and make sure you share that with a friend, man. We doing some crazy stuff here at the Hangout spot here in 2025, and it's only gonna get better. But before we get started, we're gonna have the champ up in here in about 5 minutes or so. He's just running a little bit late. But he going to be here, man. Nonetheless, he going to be here, and it's going to be a crazy interview, man. Always a good time when you got any one of the Normans in the building, man. Like I said, they family. But y'all know the deal, man. In the meantime, y'all know there's ground rules. If you're watching this live on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button, man. The goal is to get this channel out into the algorithm of other boxing fans so they know we rock out 2 times a week, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we might be going to a third show. So make sure you stay tuned. And if you have not subscribed to the Hangout spot, make sure you do that. That's a sin, man. More importantly, tell a friend to tell a friend and tell that friend to tell another friend, man. Because if we want to turn this train into a locomotive in 2025, we're going to need more passengers. Last but not least, the chat is open, baby. The free chat is open. And if you want to send a donation to a brother,
straight cash, homie.
Super chats and super stickers are always welcome, man. I appreciate everything from my community members, man. But I know y'all going to come out today, man. Like I said, we got the WBO welterweight champion in the building. A spectacular performance on Saturday, man. And you know what they say, man. A lot of fight fans say that a champion isn't a champion until he actually defends his title. Well, guess what? I guess Brian Norman Jr. is a champion, right? And the way he did it, I mean, with the left hand, you know what I'm saying, in spectacular fashion, he fought a totally different fight than he fought against Santillan. And we saw what he did against Santillan, bro. He beat that man into submission, bro. But this one, again, more boxing. The left hook was crazy. The speed, the movement. You know, once he shook off a little bit of rust in the first round, it was a wrap, man. It was a wrap, man. And he finished Derek Cuevas, a guy that had never been stopped. Nonetheless, had never been down in a fight. And that dude basically quit, bro. That shit was crazy disappointing, man, because honestly, as a Brian Norman Jr. fan, I was selfish. Like, I wanted to see more of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know in boxing, you don't get paid for overtime. You got to handle your business. If the knockout is there, you definitely have to take it. It was spectacular. It was spectacular. I mean, you know, Junior's been on his victory tour this week. Well-deserved. Well-deserved. But at the end of the day, I just want to see a little bit more. But it's all right. 24 years old, the youngest champion in boxing. And the future is super bright in a 147-pound division that it's right there for the taking, bro. It's right there for the taking, man. He is just as talented and gifted as anybody else in the division. That's right. I said it, baby. I said it. But, you know, the future's bright. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, man. I just can't wait to see him back in the ring. But I love Junior's interviews. And if you saw his interview on the Boxing Voice yesterday, it was just sensational, man. It was sensational. He's a great interview. Very, very smart. He's confident. He's just, I mean, he's the total package right now, man. He's must see TV, man. And in my opinion, he's a future star in the making. And I'm not just saying that because I rock with the Normans, man. I truly believe that, man. I'm a big, big fan of Junior in the ring, man. I'm a huge fan of Junior in the ring. So it's gonna be interesting to see when we get him up in here. But who we got, man? Who we got in the building, man? Who we got? We got my man Sam in the building. What's going on, man? The hangout spot. Appreciate you rocking out with us here on a Thursday night. Usually we do Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, but the interview that I had scheduled with Senior on Tuesday had to get pushed to yesterday because, again, victory tour, well deserved, man. The Normans were guests at the Atlanta Hawks basketball game, man, on Tuesday, man. So they had to take care of business, and Senior was kind enough, man, to kind of swap days and come on with me yesterday, man. But listen, like I said, well deserved, man. Well deserved. But yeah, man, what we got Miles Austin in the building. What's going on, Miles? Yes, sir, TBV fam. I see your grind. Salute. I appreciate you, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. It's always a grind, man. This is what we do here. It is a grind every single day. We trying to bring the biggest and best content out for you boxing fans. And tonight is no different, man. It don't get any better, man, than the welterweight champion himself, man. He's in the building. So without further ado, I want to bring in my man, my brother, the WBO welterweight champion of the world, Brian Norman Jr. What's going on, champ? Welcome back to the hangout spot, man.
What's up, with your big dog, man? It's cool to be at the chill spot once again, man. We at the chill spot with it, man. What's up? What's up?
The chill spot. I got something specially for you that I downloaded just for you.
I like that.
I had to, bro. I had to, man. Listen, sensational performance this weekend, like I was telling my viewers, man. A lot of fight fans say that the champion isn't a true champion until he makes his first defense. And boy, did you make a statement this weekend, man. A third round stoppage of a guy that, number one, never been stopped. Number two, never been down in the fight. I didn't even know that. I don't think you knew that when they told you that, after the fight.
I didn't know that.
That's pretty crazy.
I got something else to add on to it. I knocked him out with a jab. I just want you to know that. That was a jab I stopped him with.
And a left jab on top, left hand.
So
that's crazy, man.
How about this? I know there's gonna be a question anyway. For everybody asking a question about how my hand is, how my hand feeling. I knocked him out with the jab, so that says it right there.
Well, listen, that was going to be one of my questions because here we are 5 days later. So I want, I might as well ask it now. So 5 days later, you're good. Everything is good to go.
Yeah, still been training, still been doing my thing, man. We cool. That was just 3 rounds of quick sparring. That's all it was.
That's exactly what it was, man. Again, this dude, like I was telling my viewers a little while ago before you jumped on, it was like, for selfish reasons, I was like, yo, this dude quit. Like, I wanted to see more of my man B. Norm, man. But this dude didn't want no more, man. His eyes were all like, it was crazy. It was absolutely
in my
crazy.
opinion, I wanted to keep going as well. So even me, I was upset as well. Like the fact that he just quit like that. But he got hit with a rock. Like real dead. He got hit with a brick. So every time I touched him, like no exaggeration, I hurt him. So I understand why he quit, but at the same time, I mean, we joined this fight game for a reason. So you hit hard as well. Use that to your advantage. I mean, he said that at the press conference, so use it to your advantage.
A guy that came in with only one loss, because we knew he was a dangerous guy. 27 wins, 19 knockouts, over a 70% knockout ratio with an excellent left hook. And it seems like right from the beginning, you were trying to match left hooks with him. Was that the plan going in? Or was this Brian Jr. just trying to say, you know what? I'm going to make a statement here. People are going to probably question my left, so I'm going to give him something to talk about. Was it that?
Yeah, it was more so I know for a fact people was questioning my left hand and how's it doing. So I was just trying to go left hand crazy and make a statement with it. And I'm pretty sure I did that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your dad said he was like, because I asked your dad, I said, after that first round, what was the conversation like in the corner with Junior? And he was basically like, you know what? I didn't know he was gonna go left hook crazy. We gotta get back to the game plan, bro. We gotta get back to the game plan.
Yeah.
He kind of went off
I came out. I came out entirely too tight. Like, I was trying to knock him out from the jump, not realizing, man, you got 12 rounds, man. Relax yourself. So the first round I came out way entirely too tight, sit right in front of him. He told me just relax a little bit, let your hands flow, and just keep on moving. And then second round, I caught my rhythm just like that. Hurt him in the second, and in the third round, I finished him.
You breaking up a little bit, champ. It might be a little bit of a
Oh, my
connection
bad.
issue.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You were breaking up
Can
a
you hear
little
me?
bit. I heard what you were saying though. I heard what you were saying about pacing
Yeah.
yourself. It was just coming in and out a little bit. Hopefully, it gets a little bit clearer up. But I know for a fact that we've had plenty of conversations. You've been on here before, and first and foremost, I just want to thank you for giving me the time and jumping on here, man. Because I know right now you're a hot commodity, bro. Like everybody wants to talk to Brian Norman Jr. right now. But for you to show me some love,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So I just want to knock that out of
I
the way first and
appreciate you. I
foremost.
appreciate you.
Nah, you family, you know the deal, man. I always rock with the Normans, man. And shout out to Pops. If you watching Pops, thank you for jumping on yesterday. Once again, an excellent interview. I've had him on a bunch of times, man. I always love to have him on. But I know from conversations that we've had that you are a very, very tough critic of yourself. You're very hard on yourself. So how would you rate
Mm-hmm.
that performance? And what did you see in that performance that you feel that you could have done better? Because I know you're gonna critique yourself.
The main thing I seen was, like I said, I came out entirely too tight. So that was definitely the main thing, just coming out rushing things, trying to go for a knockout from the jump instead of just letting it come to you. I feel like I was fighting just a little immature regarding trying to force punches, trying to force shots, trying to force the action instead of letting it come to me. So those are just a few things I'm working on.
Okay, so overall, you were kind of satisfied. I mean, again, I would be satisfied with that performance. But the thing that I noticed about this performance is you fought a totally different fight against Santillan. It was different. It was much in the trenches, and you were literally. I mean, you literally beat that man into submission. But this one again, you showed a lot of speed. That left hook, that explosive left hook. Some angles and stuff like that. So, was this another one of your statements where you're showing people that there is so much more to your arsenal than just the person that they saw against Santillan?
I wasn't trying to do that, but I be trying to tell the folk that I'm a diverse individual. So I mean, whatever style I need to beat whoever, I can do that. So if I need Santian, I can do that. If I need to box, I can do that. If I need to counter punch, I can do that. So whatever the job needs, I got the tools for it.
Your connection is bad. Are you in like in a rough area? I just want to make sure that my viewers get the full Brian Norman Jr. in here, man. I don't want them cheated, man.
Can you hear me clear? Can you hear me clear?
I can hear you clear. It's
Can
like
you hear me clear?
yeah, but I can hear you, but
I'm
it's
still
not
chopping up right
moving.
now.
Yeah, it's still a little choppy. You want to jump out and try to jump back in?
Yeah, I try to jump out and jump in.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get the champ back in here in a second, man. Like I said, I just want to make sure that he's in a good spot so that we can have ourselves one excellent interview. We got Dante Rios in the house. What's going on, Dante? Thanks for rocking out with us here on a Thursday night with the WBO welterweight champion of the world, Brian Norman Jr., the assassin. Weedy, what's going on, man? Good evening. Thank you for joining us. What about now, champ? Go ahead. You could talk.
Are we clear? Are we clear?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
we
yeah.
here? Are we here?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool.
So we'll work through it, man. We'll work through it. Nonetheless, we will work through it. But yeah, like I was saying, you showed a different Brian Norman. I think you were saying that that wasn't really the intention.
hmm
That's why I
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was
lost
just
you a little bit.
whatever tools I need to beat a fighter, I got the tools for it, and I didn't mean to make a statement, but it's just just winning by any means necessary.
There were a lot of people that were saying before this fight that the last fight against Santillan was a fluke. What are they saying now, champ?
I mean, shoot, everybody see it now. I mean, third round knockout with a jab. What can you say now? And then I looked a whole lot better than the Santiago fight. Now imagine how I'm gonna look in my next fight.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And I loved your post-fight interview too, man. I was telling your dad that yesterday. You show a lot of confidence, a lot of swag, and even Tim Bradley was giving you props for that, man. Even Tim Bradley was giving you props for that, man, which I thought was pretty impressive because we know in the past he's been pretty hard on you, as far as his criticism on your performances. But I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about this. Now, my question yesterday to Pops was, and he thought it would be a better idea to ask you this question, and he was absolutely right. So coming into this camp, right? Because this was a different camp, right? Now you're coming into this camp as a champion. So hypothetically, you're not the hunter, you're the hunted. So what was the mentality? Was it different going into this camp? Did you feel like I need to do a little bit more? Did you do more? Did you run a little bit more? Did you push yourself a little bit more just because you were going in as the champion as opposed to the challenger?
I was training harder and smarter than ever. Um, the fact that I am now a champion in the hunted and hunted thing, I'm still always hunting myself. Like no matter what, the man in the mirror is always my enemy. So I'm hunting him every day. How do I beat him? So that's my whole objective is to beat my previous self. And if you keep doing that every day, you're gonna keep getting better. So all I do is focus on myself and how do I beat myself and what do I need to work on.
I hear that. When do you plan on getting are you already back in the gym? Or are you taking a few days off until you get and then get back into the gym?
Right now, I am running. I ain't going like I'm hitting the bag or anything. I did work, spar a little bit because I had to get some extra little energy out of him. He only gave me 3 rounds. I had to get some sparring in. So I did get some more sparring in, but besides that, I just been running, just staying busy.
I'm not surprised you said that, man. I'm not surprised you said that.
Mm,
But so post fight, man, I saw that Jin Sasaki,
mm.
respectfully pulled up to you, man. Wanting to fight. He was very, very cordial with the way he approached you. But nonetheless, he wants a fight going forward. Is that a fight that you would entertain? And more importantly, because I asked Pops this yesterday because my perspective was different and he gave me his perspective, which made sense. Would you guys be willing to go to Japan for that fight?
I'm definitely down to go to Japan. Like I said, also in the post fight interviews, is I love going to other people's hoods, as you seen when I won the belt. So I definitely do it with Jen as well, and he pulled up on him respectfully. It wasn't no beef or anything like that. It's just plain and simple. I like to fight. You like to fight. You got the belt. Can I try to fight for that? So no, it's all cool. It's a possibility, but at the same time, we got other fights we can also have. So right now, it's still in the air on what's next for me.
No, absolutely. You got a lot of options, and that's a good problem to have,
Mhm.
obviously. But I guess my take on it yesterday, and I'll explain what I told Pops yesterday was I'm thinking like, why would they want to go to Japan? Like he's the champion. Like let him come here to the States. But then the way he expressed it, it's about money. It's a business. And it's also about international exposure for you as well. Fighting across, in Japan. I mean, there's a lot of he convinced me that there's a lot of good that can happen from that. But I'm just looking at it from the old school perspective. Like, nah, man, I'm the
Mhm.
champion. You want a shot, you got to come over here, man. You got to take that 24-hour flight or whatever it is to come over here. You know what I'm
I got
saying?
you.
But
I got you.
yeah.
So even with that old school mindset, Muhammad Ali, he fought in Africa a few times, and guess what? He got a big old African fan base. Kobe Bryant, he played in the NBA over here in America, but he had a big fan base over in China. So you got a star, and then you got superstars. I want to be a superstar. So that's also a possibility where I want to fight in Japan. Africa, that's really the main place I want to fight. I want to fight in Panama. I want to fight in a whole bunch of places.
No, trust me, man. He schooled me, man. Both of you guys just schooled me on that. It makes perfect sense. I just wasn't thinking about that. It absolutely does. You're young, you can fight, you're confident. I mean, you got all the goods
Mhm.
to be a global superstar. You just got to get out there, obviously, and fight out there. So it makes sense. I mean, he schooled me yesterday on that, and you finished me off. So it does make sense. That wasn't a fight that I was necessarily wanting for you as a fan, but actually, it might be a better fight for you. I will tell you the fight that I had originally told you a while back that I wanted. I don't know if I want that fight anymore. Well, I do. Let me rephrase that. I
Which
do
fight?
want it,
Which
but I don't
fight?
know if I want it next.
Which fight?
Well, I always said I wanted to see you in the ring with Boots, but
Hmm.
um, I don't know. Like I was thinking, I was like, I don't know if I want that fight for B Norm yet because
Why not?
let him come to you. That's what I'm thinking now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let him come to you. Like, he's got to handle his own business, next week against Stanionis. I think that's going to be a tremendous fight for unification. But I don't think it's wise for you to kind of like just structure your career around him. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm not doing that at all. I'm not stunting dude at all. I mean, he got what he got going on. I got what I got going on. I got my own career over here. I'm doing my thing. So, but whenever we meet up, we're gonna meet up and we're gonna thug it out, and I'm gonna end up the better man that night. But I'm not basing my career off of anybody.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And you guys are not pulling up to that fight next week, right? You're not attending that, right?
No, I won't be there.
Okay. All right. I do have a question from one of the community members. My man Oxium sent me this and he wanted me to ask you that. So Top Rank and PBC, I guess Bob Arum came out and said that he's obviously willing to work together with PBC on future fights. And there were a lot of rumored fights that we actually spoke about yesterday on the Boxing Voice that they said could potentially happen between both those promotion companies. But the question that Oxium has is, or will you push to be part of it and get a Barrios fight, for unification?
I would definitely push as strong as possible because that's a fight that I truly want. Me and Barrio, we can go ahead and duke it out. Whoever wins next week, of course they're gonna be the victor, so they're gonna have two belts. Me and Barrios, whoever wins that has two belts, boom, quick undisputed fight, just like that. So be real, that's the route I would rather take. Me and Barrios, is gonna get this thing started.
I agree, and that honestly, that's the new fight that I would like for you to get going forward. If it's not Sasaki that defends, I would love for you to get that fight against Barrios in a unification. And apparently, like I said, with Top Rank willing to do business with PBC, I think that could be a strong possibility, man. So, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's a question that he wanted to ask. Or, I think you answered that question again. The second part of his question was, or will you wait for the boot standing on his winner? I don't think that you're going to do that. Although if it presents itself, I'm sure you'll
I wait
probably
for
take it
nobody. Yeah, I wait for nobody. But if it's there and the time is right, we can go on and make that thing happen. I know one of them may need a little break after the fight. Who knows what may happen? But nah, we right here no matter what.
for sure, for sure. When do you want to get back into the ring?
Tomorrow, if possible. Me just get some contract signed right now. But realistically speaking, I'm gonna say sometime in the summer, maybe June or July. That'll sound good to me.
And wow, that's good. I didn't see it. I didn't see enough on Saturday. I want to see more and more. So I agree with you. If I can see you back in the ring in 2 weeks, that would be dope. But realistically, you got to let this thing play out, right? Yeah, man. I think the sky's the limit for you right now, man. I mean, I really do. You got a lot of options, and let's not forget, man. We got a lot of guys at 140 that are willing to jump up. You got Devin Haney, you got Ryan Garcia. Are any of those fights interesting for you? I'm sure they would be.
Oh, most definitely. Anybody at 147 and they got a name on them, I'm right here for all of it.
I know you don't like to play hypotheticals with me, but I'm gonna throw it at you anyway. If you had your choice, what would be your next three fights?
I can't even really say for real because we know how the boxing game be shaking up. But I'm gonna say definitely Barrios, and then Undisputed, and then after that I can't really say. Barrios Undisputed, and after that I can't say.
Got you, got you. And like I said, I am here with the WBO welterweight champion of the world, the assassin, Brian Norman Jr., my guy. I'm a little disappointed you didn't come out with the war hat though, champ. You should have came out with the war hat, man. You know how me
Sure,
and
I
you
got
do
it in
old school,
the back
man.
though. I got it in the back.
Damn, me and you do old school. When I saw you with that hat, I was like, my man, bro, took it back to one of my favorite fights of all
Yeah.
time. That's actually a question I want to ask you in a second. Let me just see what the chat is going on. I think the chat may have some questions. I do got Pink Car '06 in the building with a $2 super chat.
Straight cash, homie.
Appreciate the donation, sister. Quava said no mas. So there you go. You made him quit. So that is she just wanted to throw that out at you and congratulate you. We got Lake County with a $2 super chat. Lake County, I appreciate the donation. What up, champ? Great work. Absolutely, man. Like I said, I mean it's well deserved, man. How was the experience at the Hawks game, man?
Oh man, it was lovely, man. Had a little interview. They had me on the TV. They trying to show the champ a little love, man. I love it out here, man. They showing appreciation.
How do is can you get like I don't know. Are you I don't see you as a person that really likes that like all the hoopla and all that stuff like but you're going to have to get used to it, man. So am I wrong? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you feeling more are you going to be adaptable to feel more comfortable with it if you don't like it?
I'm iffy on it. I love the love. It's just it is draining. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been busy all day. I've been busy all week, so it is a little draining. But at the same time, it's just people just trying to show me love. So I appreciate it. But it all happened because I was doing what I was supposed to do, which is putting in work. So I ain't mad at it.
For sure, man. We got Lake County with another $2.
Straight cash, homie.
Appreciate you, champ. I thought this was a good comment to bring up now that we talked about the Atlanta Hawks game. But tell Top Rank to come to ATL to the Gateway Center. Is that a possibility, man? That you could do a homecoming there? That would be crazy.
I hope so. Shoot, I hope so. I know just as much as y'all, man. We trying to tell these folks, let the Atlanta fighter fight in Atlanta. The city gonna come out and watch, man. I'm telling you.
I agree, man. I agree, man. They're gonna show you love, man. They're gonna show you love. We got my man Little Zooted, man, with a $2 super chat. What's going on, Little Zooted? Thanks for rocking out with us here on a Thursday night with the WBO welterweight champion, the assassin, Brian Norman Jr. He said the hardest and weakest champ to beat at welterweight. So he wants the hardest and, in your opinion, the weakest to beat in your division.
Of course, I'm gonna say I'm the hardest, but regarding the weakest, I can't say. We all champions for a reason. So, hey, who knows?
I hear that. I hear that. But yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here with Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. is in the building, man. You know, I'd be remiss, man, if I didn't bring up a couple of questions for you that I have. But champ, I just want you to. I don't think I've ever asked you this question, man. But what do you like to do when you're not fighting? I know you're probably going to tell me you're always either training, running, or doing something. But when you're not boxing at all, what do you like to do in your spare time?
No, actually, so of course, training. Let's say that take up 6 hours out my day. That's what I'm gonna say. So I still got a whole lot more time after that. So with that time, I like trying to find peace. So that's either chilling with my family, my people, reading, walking, whatever the case may be. Sure, I'm trying to start fishing again, but pops keep on playing games. But whatever the case may be, just anything to find my peace.
Playing games like what? He keeps telling you he's going, but he doesn't commit to going. Is that what it is?
We've been about to go since I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old, and he been saying, "Yeah, we gonna set it up, man. We gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen."
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. What? So listen, I got to ask you this, man, because he asked this up on the boxing verse. I thought it was hilarious, man. What the hell were you doing at 2 o'clock in the morning in a park by yourself? I think you said you were reading a book. Like who
Listen,
does? What were you
y'all
doing,
keep
man? Tell me,
saying
what were you
that.
doing?
Y'all keep saying that I wasn't reading no book that time. I was just out there visioning my future, what I got going on. Days like this, while I'm out here doing interviews, giving us out just, I was creating my future that night. That's all it was.
At 2 o'clock in the morning in the park?
I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. Might as well go somewhere.
Bob said, "I love myself," and something like he do weird shit. He's also saying, He also said you love. I thought that shit was hilarious, man. He said he do shit. I never did that shit. Like, who the hell does that shit? We were dying, man. I was dying during
Look,
that
this the whole
interview. I
thing.
had to
Am I
ask.
supposed to be just like him?
Well, you guys, let me tell you something. I remember when I first interviewed you a while back, and I said, it seems like you and your dad are so different. But now that I've gotten a chance to talk to your dad on a lot and you a lot, like y'all really are alike. You're not that much different. It's just the way it's delivered. You know, dad is a lot more out there. He's boisterous. You know, he's brash. You're much more with that quiet, confident, like the
Explosive.
quiet. Yeah, but you're like a quiet assassin. You know,
Mhm.
one of them dudes. One of them dudes that
I'm
you
just
got to
about
watch
my
out
business.
for.
That's it.
One of them dudes that
Yeah,
you
I'm
got to
just
watch
about
out
my
for. Like,
business.
you're one of them dudes
Mhm.
I remember in school that we saw in the corner. And you used to be like, "Yo, man, you don't want to mess with that dude over there, bro. Like, he don't talk a lot, but you don't want to mess with that dude. Like, you were one of those dudes, man."
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, man, I've been around them, man. That's why I love and appreciate you, man. You got the perfect nickname as well, man. I got to cop one of those assassin T-shirts. I told Pops that, man, to represent. I love the assassination T-shirts, man. I got to get one of those so I could I could rep you guys.
Man.
But I got another question for you because I know that I would love to get your answer on this. If you had to build the perfect fighter, right?
Mhm.
Which fighter would you pick for these certain attributes? It could be any fighter. It could be a current fighter. It could be obviously an old school fighter. Who would you pick
Yeah.
when it came to speed,
Sugar Ray Leonard.
power?
Oh, yeah. No. Hold up. Wait.
Well, okay, you want to go back and
Speed.
and
I go Sugar
speed?
Ray.
So
Yeah,
you're
I go
gonna go
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
That one shocked me. I thought you
He
were gonna
said
go
no.
with somebody else.
Roy
I
Jones.
thought, I thought you were gonna go with Roy for some reason.
Yeah, that's who I was tied up with. I don't know who.
All right, so Sugar Ray. We're gonna stick with Sugar Ray. Power.
Deontay Wilder.
Mm, that's a good one. Footwork.
Pernell Whitaker.
Mm. Ring IQ.
Floyd Mayweather.
Defense.
Floyd Mayweather.
That one shocked me. Not a bad pick. I'm just saying that one shocked me. That one shocked me. I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
go Sweet Pea there.
Nah,
Um,
Floyd bad though. Floyd bad.
nah. Floyd was a man. Courage, heart, and courage would be the last one. Determination, heart, courage, and determination.
Heart, courage, and determination. Uh, give me. What's my dude name?
Which one? I'll give you. Tell
Floyd
me. Give me.
Stockton.
Floyd
Floyd
stopped him.
stopped him in round 10. Yeah. Look, a savage though. He a savage though. He stopped him in round 10. He had knocked out Castillo on the comeback.
Oh, you talking about Corrales? Diego Corrales?
Yeah, Diego Corrales. I want to say either him or Arturo Gotti. Both of them are savages.
Ah, see, we think alike because I was thinking Arturo Gotti too, man. That's
Yeah.
what's up, man. That's
Arturo
what's up.
Gotti was the market code.
I thought that was dope answers, man. I wanted to ask you that, like I said, because you know how we do. We ask these questions and stuff like that. I think that would be
Mm-hmm.
the perfect fighter, and I do agree with mostly all of yours. For footwork, though, I would have. Who'd you pick for footwork again? I didn't write it down.
Pernell.
You picked Pernell.
Pernell.
Nah, that's a good one. I would have picked Pernell for defense, slightly over Floyd. Footwork, I probably would have went with Lomachenko. That was just me.
Mm-hmm.
Speed was good. Power
The
was
thing
good.
about the thing about Pernell defense was it was excellent. It was great, but it was very rare that he come back with something. Floyd will make you miss, and make you pay.
Right. So I think it's fair to say that you think Shakur's defense is more like Sweet Peas, right? Because he's been criticized for that in the past.
Yeah, he got. I'm gonna say definitely top 3 defense ever, but he don't come back with anything.
Right. I got you. I got you. I got you. No, no, great answers. Great answers across the board, man. The chat is cooking right now, man. The chat is cooking. They are showing you love, champ, just like I knew they would. If you weren't a fighter, man, what would you be doing if you were not a fighter?
I'd be a farmer. I just want to
Really?
be outside, just chilling, chilling.
That's an interesting answer. So you like animals and stuff like that? Farm animals?
I just like here come my pops. He gonna come with, but I like being outside. I like nature. I like with the animal. I like being in real life. I don't like being in a fast life. I don't like being on this phone all the time. I don't want to try to get the biggest car, have the biggest mansion, have the no, like all that don't matter. I just want to be with my family and chill. You feel me? So like we all just come together. We all just chilling. We all cook together, eat together. Things of that nature. So I like more of the slow life. Cause after you get all the
Nah,
money, you realize, okay, cool. Now what? You ain't got nobody to have fun with. You can buy everything, but now what?
nah, you're absolutely right. My man, the Nigerian nightmare from the boxing voice said he's very, very laid back. Absolutely. I don't think that's a bad answer at all. But it's funny how you said my dad's gonna sound weird for this. That's hilarious, man. That is absolutely hilarious. One thing I wanted to tell you too, man. Shout out to Justin Time Figueroa, man. He wanted me to tell you hi. You know,
Oh, that's
you
my
know the
dog.
deal.
That's my dog. That's my
Yep,
dog.
yep. You guys have sparred together. He
Yeah.
just won. He's obviously an undefeated prospect, man. Doing big things. He saw the post that you were coming on, and he wanted me to give you a shout out. So shout out to him. I wanted to make sure I did not forget that. But yeah, I've always wanted to ask you that because you are very laid back, and I think you like to read, right? You're a book reader.
Oh yeah, I just finished a book the day of the fight called the Manifestation Code, the 12 Laws of the Universe, and I definitely recommend that to anybody.
That's dope. That's dope. Is that one of the best books you've ever read?
Definitely top 3.
For sure, for sure, for sure. I wanted to kind of get a little bit into old school as well, because I couldn't let you go without talking old school, man. And I know the last time that, or the first time that we actually interviewed you, we talked about your favorite old school fighters. But I want to flip it up a little bit. I want to talk about some of your favorite old school fights of all time.
hmm
Give me some of your favorite old school fights of all time, 4 or 5 that come off the top of your head.
So the
And I'm
first
gonna give
fight
you
I
mine.
always
And I'm
go
gonna
to
give
to
you mine.
learn something. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, I said I'm gonna give you mine after yours.
Oh, I'm finna say, but the first fight I always go to if I want to learn something for real is the first fight with James Tony versus Mike McCallum. I love that
Mm,
fight right there with a passion. And then you can
okay.
switch it over to Salvador Sanchez versus Danny Lopez. And then who else? I'm gonna go Roberto Duran versus Davey Moore. I love that fight as well. That boy he did that night should have been illegal. Now let's bring it back to James Tony. This is just a highlight reel. James Tony versus Iran Barkley. I love that fight as well.
Mm,
And then to top off, I gotta go another highlight tape, which is Roy Jones versus Richard Hall. This man hit him, walked behind him, and then hit him on the other side. I ain't never seen nothing like it since then.
wow, man. Wow, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man.
Mhm.
I thought there would be a little bit of Sugar Ray in there. I thought for sure that we would probably
Mhm.
get this one. One of my favorite fights of all time was Pryor against Arguello. Remember Aaron Pryor against Arguello?
Oh yeah. And then that's the bottle that he mixed and all that. But now Aaron Pryor was a bad boy.
That's right. That's right. A little bit of controversy with that, but I thought for sure you would probably say that one. I would say one of my favorite fights of all time is probably the Chavez Meldrick Taylor fight, man. I love that fight and the
hmm
way it ended. with that controversy with Richard Steele stopping him, man. Remember that one?
Yeah, I don't like that fight for two reasons. That boy took a whole lot of damage.
Mm.
Taylor, he took a whole lot of damage, and also, man, there was 2 seconds left on the clock. Man, you could have let him go. You could have let
I
him
was
go.
gonna
He
ask
would
you
have
about
won the
that.
fight and just yeah,
I mean, the man got up, right?
yeah. He got up. He was cool, and it was 2 seconds left.
Yeah, man, it was nasty, but it was a good back and forth fight. But you're right, man. Meldrick Taylor was never the same after that fight, man. Never the same.
hmm That's what changed
I
his
mean,
career.
yeah, man.
Ooh,
I mean,
I got another fight for you.
talk to me.
Terry Noah versus Troy Waters. Do you know that one?
I do remember that one. I do vaguely, but I do
hmm
remember that one.
Yeah. Nah, they was going at it. They was going back and forth.
Yeah, you pulling out a lot of sleepers, man. Like I'm pulling out obvious ones. Like, a lot of people would say Pryor Arguello. Obviously, I loved Sugar Ray against Hearns. I love that fight.
hmm
I love Diego Corrales. We talked about Diego Corrales against Castillo when he came back and
Yeah.
stopped him when he went down 3 times and spit out his mouthpiece and they took away a point and then he stopped Corrales. I thought that was crazy, that fight. Um,
What about Buddy McGirt versus Simon Brown?
I remember that. I do remember that. Buddy McGirt was a bad man, man. You know
Yeah,
the
and
the, the
folks be
Buddy McGirt.
sleeping. That boy, that was bad.
Yeah, I liked his fights against Pernell, right? Pernell beat him a couple of times though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember those fights. I remember those fights. And even though it was only 3 rounds, Hagler Hearns, man, got to be up there, man. War.
Mm.
That was
Hagler, my
war. That's
dog,
why.
all day.
That's why I wanted you to wear that hat today because I was gonna bring that war fight up.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Gotti Ward was another one that I loved.
hmm
Morales versus Barrera, Hagler versus Hagler versus Leonard wasn't really a good fight. It was hyped up, but again, a lot of controversy in that. Who do you think won that fight?
I'm going Hagler 24. That's my dog.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I love the aggression as well. I liked Holyfield versus Bo. I thought the first one was really good too. But is Hagler one of your top 3 favorite of all time? I think I asked you that on the. Oh, I sent that question into the Boxing Voice, so you could tell the group that. But let my
Yeah,
viewers know who your
definitely.
top 5 are.
I can't really say I'm gonna hit it with you 4. Shoot, I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5. Roy
Give me give
Jones,
me more if you
Floyd
want. Give me
Mayweather.
more.
It's a whole lot. So I'm gonna give you 5. That's it. Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Marvin Hagler, Salvador Sanchez, James Tony.
Mm, can't go wrong with either one of those, man. But if there was that one fight that you're like, you know what, I'm bored. I got to watch this fight. So it would be that James Tony fight that you mentioned, the first one.
Yeah, James Tony, Mike McCallum. Or I don't know why lately it been Floyd versus Canelo. Like he just boxed him to sleep. Like that was just a masterful performance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely was, and it's crazy how much better Canelo got from that, right? From that one
hmm
performance. That's why I tell people, sometimes you can't really consider losses losses. They're lessons. You know what I mean? They're lessons,
Yeah,
especially
not at
when
all. Shoot, I was
Go
finna
ahead,
say
Chuck.
Manny
Go ahead.
Pacquiao got put to sleep by Marquez. Came back and won the title versus Keith Thurman when he was 90 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, absolutely, absolutely, man. Keith Thurman just made his comeback, man. In grand fashion, bro. He put himself back as a player at 154, man. Did you see that? Did you see that knockout?
I see the knockout, and guess what? He still looked good. So that I give even more credit to Pacquiao for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that was after what, a couple of 3-year layoff, man.
Yeah, it was. He still looked like one time Thurman. He still like he on point.
Is there give me one fight that you want to see this year that hasn't been made but you want to see as a fight fan?
Inoue versus is it Nakatani, I believe?
Yes, Junto Nakatani.
Yeah, them two.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Do you think we'll ever see a Tank versus Shakur fight?
Negative. No.
Why do you say that?
The business of boxing. I don't think so. I feel like Tank. Well, I think it can happen. I think it can. He running out of options. Shakur, I know Shakur down to fight, and Tank running out of options. So I think it will happen unless he retire early.
You got a lot of comments in here saying they want Norman versus Boots, man, which is pretty
Mm.
obvious.
Hey, it
Right, I
sounds
mean,
like
the
it's
chat
bound
is
to happen.
yeah, that's what the chat is asking. If, a lot of different people are asking if that fight will ever happen. So right from the champion's mouth, will that fight ever happen?
Sound like it's gonna be bound to happen. We both at 147.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you feel good, right? At that weight, like you don't see yourself moving up anytime soon, right?
No, I'm staying at 47 for a smooth minute.
That's what's up. That is what's up. Do you think Terrence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo if they fight in September, moving up 2 weight classes?
I definitely think he has a chance, and also I just seen him when I was at the fights also in Vegas. But now he definitely has a chance. He got the skills, he got the mindset, the work ethic, and just straight up hard. So I don't see why.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you know what? A question that I wanted to ask you because but I'd love to get your take on it. What do you think about this whole league thing that Turkey Al Sheikh is putting together with Dana White, man? What's I know we got to let it play out, but what's your initial thoughts on that?
My initial thoughts is I'm not rocking with it because they're trying to get out the Ali Act,
Mm.
and I don't want my manager and promoter to be the same as that person because that don't sound good. Like we see how the UFC is, and you tell me are they getting paid to get they they head kneed in and stuff like that, elbowed in, the ear falling off and all of that. So I can't rock with it.
Right. Yeah, no, it's interesting about the whole Ali Act, the fact that they want to make one champion per division. It's it obviously it looks like a business model that's done in the MMA. And I interviewed Eddie Hearn a couple of weeks ago live when I was at the Orlando car, and I asked him about it, and he just said that it'd be difficult for that to work because it's not traditional boxing. What they're trying to do.
Mhm.
So I like to ask
Yeah,
fighters about
I
that.
don't think we gonna rock with it.
What was
I
that?
don't think boxers will rock with it.
You don't think so?
Ah,
Mm. All right. That's definitely a very very interesting take, man. Let me see if I got any more questions from the chat, man. That way I know I've kept you here long enough, man. Again, I am with the WBO welterweight champion, Brian Norman Jr., the assassin, coming off a sensational TKO victory, third round over Derek Cuevas, and now the future is bright, man. He's got a lot of different options. He can either go to Japan and fight the one of the top contenders. I mean, he can unify with Boots. I mean, I'm sorry, not Boots. He can unify with Barrios. I don't think he's going to wait around for Boots, but we know that fight is eventually going to happen.
I can unify with Boots as well.
You unify with Boots, but you ain't chasing him. Is what,
Wait,
what
hold
is
up,
what
wait.
I'm trying to.
He ain't even in yet. So whoever
He ain't
wins the
even
fight,
there
we just
yet.
gonna say
Exactly.
that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Absolutely. How do you see that fight playing out, man? Because a lot of people are automatically just counting Stanionis out, man.
Yeah, so I do see that a lot. Even me, I just accidentally slipped up and did it myself.
Hmm.
But no, I think it'll be a great fight, and both of these fighters about to show exactly why they are champion. So um, it's gonna be one for the books.
No, absolutely, and I will be tuned in. I don't know. I don't know if there's any more questions, but man, as always, man, this was absolutely sensational, champ. I appreciate you jumping on with me. You know, your family, man.
I appreciate you, and I'm sorry for the Wi-Fi connection. I seen this was a big issue this whole time, but we thugged it out.
Yeah. This is how we do it up, man. We thug it out, man. This is boxing. You know what I'm saying? We tough. You know, we adjust. I wish it was a little bit more clear, but that's okay. It was a great interview nonetheless. I will. I spoke to Pops yesterday, and I think I ran this by you too, man. When you get back into training, man, I'd love to be able to come down where you're at, man, and just spend a day, with you guys and check you out in training and get a little footage, maybe get a nice little ringside interview, man. So if you have me, man, I'd love to be able to do that, man. How does that sound?
I'm down for it. Let's run it.
Ah, definitely, man. You know you my guy, man. I'm always rocking with the Normans, man. I appreciate the love. And I always got your back, champ.
I appreciate you, boss man. Likewise.
All right, man. Congratulations again, and we'll talk, man. We'll talk.
All right.
All right, take care, man. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The WBO welterweight champion, Brian Norman Jr. It was tough. It was a little tough because of the connection issues. I kind of felt like every time I was talking, it would take him a minute to hear me and for him to respond. But we get through it. You know what I mean? We get through it. But at the end of the day, my community has come through, man. We got Ramirez Boxing 24.7 24/7. What's going on from DFW, Texas? Appreciate you rocking out, man, on a Thursday night here at the Hangout spot, man. This is how we do it up. If you haven't smashed that like button, make sure you smash that like button because we got to get this channel out to other boxing fans so they know we rock out as well in the evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We may add some more shows as well because we got a lot of guests that are lined up, which is a very, very good problem to have, man. We're moving this channel in the right direction. We're moving it at a fast pace, man, and I couldn't be happier enough, but I couldn't do this without my community members, the people that support me, my subscribers, you guys that come out here for me, in the evening. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for your support. Manuel LG, the boxing voice, is out and about. Salute to you. Yes, sir. I got you, little Zooted. I am Saint. What's going on? I am Saint. That's right. Hit them likes, man. We got my man, Papa Chubby Chubby. What's going on, Chad? Chilling, man. Chilling, man. Thanks for joining me, brother. Thanks for joining me, man. I know you want to get this lineal thing, back in action, man. So we gonna preach the talk for you, man. Huge statement. Yes, Brian Norman Jr. made a huge statement on Saturday. There were a lot of people that thought that last fight against Santillan was a fluke. Well, guess what? They're not saying that now. And it's crazy how people change, man. People got to understand, man. Brian Norman Jr. is 24 years old. He's the youngest champion in boxing. The youngest champion. Him oh God, Bam Rodriguez. Him and Jesse Bam Rodriguez are the two youngest, but he is the youngest, champion in boxing. So there's still a lot of room for improvement. I mean, how much better can Brian Norman Jr. get? I mean, we're looking at a guy who could potentially take over that division, man. He wants to fight that boot. I mean, people want to see him fight that Boots fight. I do too, but I don't think it's a good idea for him to just tailor his career forward and chase it. Let him come to him. Let him come to him, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Norman. We are not the same 101. Thanks for rocking out, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. We have Brian Norman Jr. in the building. And yesterday we had Brian Norman Sr. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out at the Hangout spot. It is there. It was a great interview. Brian Norman Sr. is always a great interview. Poised and relaxed, yet controlled the pace. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's how he fought. I cannot believe Junior where is Senior at. Root exposure. You know what's funny, man? I could have did that, man. I could have probably had them both on together yesterday. But I wanted to give Junior his love, man. He's well-deserved one-on-one time. I love to get into Junior's mind. Again, I just wish the connection was a little bit better. It kind of threw me off a little bit, so I apologize for that. But nonetheless, a great, great interview. But I just wanted to get into his mind, just me and him. Same thing with Senior, man. I love that one-on-one time, man. Like Senior deserves his own platform, you know what I mean? And so does Junior. But I'm gonna set that up. I think that's gonna be really, really good. I think the viewers would like to have them both on, right? Because you saw Brian Norman Jr. said a couple of times, I think Pop gonna think this is weird because Brian Norman Jr. he's just a chill, laid back guy, man. He's a visionary, he likes to just read, chill, family. You heard what he said. He's not a rah-rah type of guy. And that's, to me, is the biggest difference, right, between him and his dad. I think they are alike. It's just the way it's delivered. Like I told them, it's delivered in two different ways, man. But I could definitely appreciate that. Like I said, they family to me, man. Senior watching for sure, though. Absolutely. I text Senior. I told him that we were going to be on. He was watching. Surprised he wasn't in the chat, though. Yeah. Or maybe he was, and he was watching y'all, see if there was any haters, man. Because he be watching, bro. He be watching. He told me he be watching, bro. He be watching the chat, especially the Boxing Voice chat, man. Yep. True Power Media. What's going on, man? Thanks for rocking out with us here on a I'm sorry, you hear me? Sunday. I'm already going ahead. Sunday. We did a Sunday show, by the way, which was absolutely phenomenal. If you are a fan of the Boxing Voice, make sure you check it out. We had former TBV host Ringwalk Danny was in the building with us. Again, another bad connection, but we got through it. We're going to get him back, though, because there's a lot of questions that I didn't get to ask him, but I did wanted to put him out there, so the community could see him, let us know what he's working on. Right now, he's working in Devin Haney's camp. So we got a surprise guest visit from Bill Haney. I was able to interview Bill Haney for about 25 minutes or so. Again, we are also working on getting Bill Haney back one-on-one. That way I could get him here on this platform. We could get the chat involved as well. So make sure you stay tuned to that. But if you haven't seen that interview, that is also at the Hangout spot. So make sure you check it out. Yes, sir. You already know how we do. Ninja got a script in front of Yeah, man. Listen, I always take notes, man. If that is meant for me, I take notes. I always have notes that I want to make sure on things that I touch on. You know what I mean? Capo, what's going on? Salute to you, man. Salute to you. We got Frontline in the building. What is going on, brother? Thank you, man. Thank you for rocking out with us here on a Thursday night. You know he watching. Yup. There you go. There we go. I didn't see that. I didn't see that while I was talking to Junior, but there you go, man. The coach himself, Brian Norman Sr., he's watching. I told y'all he'd be watching. Bro. Coach, thanks for rocking out, Coach. Again, I just want to say thank you for showing me love. Thank you for coming on with me yesterday. And thank you, man, for raising one hell of a human being, man. He's not just an excellent fighter, but he's also a great person. Brian Norman Jr. is a great person. And this is why I consider the Normans family, man. They're great people, man. Great people. And they will always have my support. Yo, Coach, you got the chat dying over here, man. Take your head off that line. Not sure what that means. Is it me? I don't know. Rudy Exposure got jokes. Switching extension cord nearby. That's Senior. Yup, Senior in the building, man. Senior was in the building. Senior in the building, man. Mo Brains, what's going on, brother? What is going on, man? I was at the fight ringside, Santillan, but taking apart brick by brick, man. He beat the will out of that dude, man. And trust me when I tell you, there were not many people that were picking Brian Norman Jr. to win that fight, especially in Santillan's hometown in California, man. And he went out there in hostile territory. And I just want to touch on something like Junior said, man, because yesterday during the Brian Norman Sr. interview, like I guess I didn't think shit through. So they checked me for sure. And it makes sense. But I'm thinking right off the bat, like an old school guy, like, yo, hold on a second, man. This dude is not a champion. He wants to fight me for my title. If I give him a shot and he wants me to go to Japan, like, nah, man, let him come over here. Like I said, that is I don't know how many hours, a 20-hour flight. Let them come over here, and get that smoke. But it makes sense for them to go overseas, man. The bag is there. The bag is going to be there, man. And you get international exposure. It's about being a global superstar, not just a superstar in the States, man. And that's what they got their eye on. So that absolutely makes sense for them to go over there and beat this guy in his backyard over there in Japan. I wasn't thinking about that. Right. And of course, the financial aspect, not to mention that, like Senior said yesterday, man, is it really hostile territory? Like Japanese people are usually cordial and kind. It's not like going into Philly for a boots fight, man. You know what I mean? Or LA for a fight against a Mexican or whatnot, That's a little bit different. But Japanese people, for the most part, are very, very cordial. I mean, you saw Sasaki, he pulled up on the champ. And he was very, very cordial. He had notes written down. He was trying to speak in English. He shook his hand. He was respectfully asking for an opportunity. So, shout out to the Normans. Like I said, they are not afraid to go into hostile territory and take a fight. They were going to go to Philly and take that boots fight, man, late last year. But it was, obviously the money wasn't right. And from a business perspective, Junior's a champion as well. So yeah, he deserves a few bucks. A champion, in my opinion. He's bringing something over there. He's bringing a strap too. So if I'm going to Boots, his hometown, I got a strap. Pay me. So I get it from a business perspective. There were people that were just dogging him for that. No, I get it. I totally get it. Do what you need to do. But you know what's crazy now? If they want that Boots fight now, it's going to be different. Now they're going to have to pay more money, right? Especially since his last performance. So if Junior keeps winning fights, especially in the fashion that he won this weekend, you know what Fat Joe says, man? Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Straight cash, homie.
It is what it is. So at the end of the day, they're going to have to come to the table with something that makes sense if he continues to win, especially, like I said, in that fashion. That's boxing. That is the business of boxing, man. That's the business of boxing, man. Rematch Santillan. I don't know. I didn't ask him that. I wouldn't think that would be an option for him. Maybe if Santillan keeps winning, obviously, and he works his way up back to number one contention, yeah, they'll probably want that fight again. It was a really good fight too, man. An action-packed fight. I mean, Junior did his thing, man, and he beat this man into submission, but it was a good fight, man. It was a really good fight. If you guys haven't seen that, I would urge you guys to check that out, man. What's going on, Ricardo Sanchez? That's right, man. The Hangout spot, what's going on? Thanks for rocking out with us here Thursday night. Root exposure. Santillan didn't underestimate him by watching his previous fights. They said Tank was taking Roach for granted. I don't know. I mean, maybe. But in boxing, it's never a good idea to underestimate your opponents. You saw what happened. If people are saying that Tank underestimated Roach, I don't know if that's the case. I'm saying a lot of fight fans are saying that. I would prefer to give Roach more credit for his performance. The fact that I've never seen anybody in the pocket like that counter Tank and not be afraid of what's coming back. You got to give Roach credit. There was a lot of familiarity with them. They had sparred and fought in the amateurs. But there are people that say that he took Roach lightly. Maybe he did. I don't know. Again, maybe it was also, he was talking that retirement shit, in the pre-fight press conferences. And I never, ever, ever think it's a good idea for a fighter to start talking retirement before a championship fight. Never, man. It's almost like you got to be all in mentally. If you have like 1 foot out the door, I don't think it's ever a good idea. But maybe that was it. We're going to see, though. Hopefully that rematch is going to happen. They're saying that it is going to happen in June. Pretty much a done deal. It hasn't been officially announced, but from what we're hearing from everybody, that fight's going to happen, and I think it needs to happen. Lamont Roach has earned that rematch, man. And it's crazy because going into the first one, there were a lot of people, including myself, that had an issue with it. Like, we really didn't want to see that because we were thinking it was Tank pulling up another guy from a lower weight class. And we were going to see the same result that we saw before in the past. But, Roach proved that he belonged in the ring. And you know what? If that knockdown would have been counted, technically on paper, on the scorecards, Roach would have won that fight. And he would have been a 2-division champion. And he would have shook up the entire boxing world. Like, he did shake it up already, though, because there are people that feel like Tank lost that fight, regardless of the outcome. So I think Tank is going to have to get back in the ring and give Roach his get back so that he can prove to people that first one shouldn't have been as close as it was. But it'd be interesting to see the second one play out because I think the majority of fight fans had Tank probably stopping Roach. I don't think you're going to have the same amount of fight fans that are going to say the same. I think there's going to be a lot of fight fans that are going to pick Roach to win the rematch. Sometimes, in boxing, it's about who has your number. Maybe Roach has Tank's number. It's going to be interesting, though. Like, if they sign, seal, and deliver that, we're going to be all over it here. Trust me when I tell you, man. Would he give Blair Cobbs an opportunity? They did ask him that question on the Boxing Voice. I didn't. Yeah, absolutely. But, at the end of the day, Brian Norman Jr. is at the point right now where it doesn't matter. He has a lot of options. He can go to Japan and get that bag and make that title defense. They can try, he can try to push, Top Rank to work with PBC to get him that unification against Mario Barrios. That'd be the fight that I want. I think stylistically, that's a great fight. It would be action-packed, and it's definitely a fight that Junior can win. No disrespect to Barrios. He's a tough dude. Absolutely. It's going to be a good fight. But I would favor Norman Jr. in that fight, especially coming off Barrios' last performance against Ramos. So that's the fight that I would want. But again, he's got Blair Cobbs he can possibly fight. We do know that Blair Cobbs showed up at his camp, before this fight, showing love, respect, but he's lobbying for a shot at 147. That would be a pretty good fight. The buildup would be crazy between Blair Cobbs and Norman Sr. That would be pretty crazy. So the presser would be must see. There's just so many different options, man. There's just so many different options. You got Alexis Rocha, who's right now in the rankings, the number one contender for the WBO. You got Rocha. That would be a good fight. Definitely a winnable fight. Conor Benn, I know he's mentioned in the past Conor Benn. We know Conor Benn has that fight with Chris Eubank, but if Conor Benn comes back down to 147, I think that fight is at a catch weight in the 50s or something like that. That could be a fight. So there's just so many different options, for Junior. So just let it play out. I mean, he's fresh off his victory, hasn't even been a week. The hand feels good. You saw that, the left hand, you saw what he did. He knocked the dude out with a jab, bro. Landed a bunch of left hooks and knocked him out with a left jab. Well, not knocked him out, but he dropped him, and the dude didn't want to continue. And this is a guy, Cuevas, that was a tough dude, man. Never been stopped, never been down in a fight. One loss, over 70% knockout ratio. Another good left hook guy. And he landed a left hook against Norman Jr. in the first round. But this is boxing. You're gonna get hit. You know what I mean? So just a lot of options, man. The future's bright. That's why I love, talking to these fighters when the future is bright, right? Because we're looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen. Yeah, Blair would be a good one. Hometown fight. We spoke about that. He'd love to be able to fight in Atlanta. He feels like he could sell out that arena. I think he can as well. He's young. He's brash. He can fight. He can punch. He's going to become must-see TV if he continues to win at this pace. Salute to Senior and Junior, True Power Media. Appreciate that. Why Japan and not Philly? Again, if it all makes business sense. He was willing to go to Philly. They just wanted a little bit more money. It was a business negotiation that fell apart. I don't think it was far-fetched what they were asking for. They weren't asking for $10 million. They were just asking for their just due. But again, yesterday's price is not today's price. So it'd be interesting to see how things go along, in the future. Salute, man, from H-Town, Texas. Salute, brother. Salute. There we go. Coach was in the chat. I apologize, Coach, man. I didn't see you in the chat, or I would have brought you in. Or let the group and let Junior know that you were actually in the chat. Mo Brains, yup, we had the champion in the building. I am Saint, you know the deal. Only Latinos and Europeans fight Boots and Shakur. That's what's up, man. They need to stop making excuses and not fighting Junior. He's the truth. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I am Saint. Derek Ross, he's terrified of Boots.
This is nasty.
Nah, I think he made that pretty clear earlier. He's not afraid of Boots. He's just not going to chase him around. And, he wants his just doing that fight, but he said it. And trust me when I tell you, I've talked to Junior on plenty of occasions. He's a man of his word. That fight will happen. I know that fight will happen. If that fight doesn't happen, it's because Boots doesn't want it. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Because I know the Normans want. I definitely know Norman Sr. wants it. And if you don't believe me, go check out that interview I did with Coach last night. I think he wants that fight more than Junior. I mean, Junior wants it, but you know what I'm saying. Like, no, he definitely wants that fight, man. Derek Ross, I don't agree with that. I don't think he's terrified of Boots at all, man. Nigerian Nightmare, salute Johnny and Brian Norman Jr., great fight champ. Yeah, I think I read that when he was here. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for rocking out with us on a Thursday night. If you haven't smashed that like button, make sure you do that. We got to get this channel out and rocking. Subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe to the Hangout spot. We're going to need more and more passengers on this train so we can turn this bad boy, this bitch, into a locomotive, man. We get the bigger and better interviews. We're moving in the right direction, man. We're moving at a rapid pace here at the Hangout spot, man. So you want to make sure you are along for the ride. He a throwback fighter, but made it about the money. Well, again, it wasn't like he was asking for $10 million, man. They were only off by maybe $400,000 or something like that, man. At the end of the day, Senior just wanted, being on to go home with over $1 million, man. What for a title unification in somebody's home backyard? You got to understand the business of boxing, man. When the purse is put out, all that money doesn't go to the fighters. You got taxes, you got fees. He was going to have to pay Top Rank a fee to allow for them to allow him to fight cross platform, because that was a matchroom. Remember, Boots is a matchroom fighter. So he was going to have to go across. So Top Rank, they wanted their cut. You know what? You're under contract with Top Rank. You want to go fight on a matchroom card, you got to pay us. He would have had to pay that. So there's a lot of expenses behind the scenes that you guys don't understand. So if a fighter gets offered $2 million, how much are they potentially going home with after it's all said and done? That's what you got to think about, the business side of boxing, man. We want these fighters, they risk their lives for our entertainment, man. I mean, they should make some money in the process, especially in championship fights. Like, we're not just talking about a fight. We're talking about a championship unification fight in a brother's hometown. So he was going to sell out Philly or the Wells Fargo Center, man. So I don't know. I don't think it was that far-fetched if you ask me, man. But, people are going to say what they want to say. And it is what it is. Now that I've gotten into boxing and behind the scenes and working fight cards and talking to trainers and coaches and having these relationships, I'm seeing the inside business of boxing. And it is a very complicated and ugly world, bro.
This is nasty.
It really is, man. This is why these guys get, they're so intent on trying to make as much money as they possibly can, bro. There's a lot of leeches out there, man. The promoters, the sanctioning bodies. Like, it doesn't even make financial sense anymore to become an undisputed champion, because then you got to pay 4 different or 5 different sanctioning fees, bro. That's nasty, bro. It is what it is, man. I want to see Barrios versus Norman. That'd be me. Yeah. Mo Brains, I said the same thing when he was up in here. I think the last time I interviewed him, I said, man, I want you to handle your business and I want Boots to handle his business, and I'd love to see you guys, fight next. Yeah, of course I want to see that fight. But I got to be honest, I would love to see him fight Barrios next and possibly unify with Barrios. And if Boots wins against Stanionis, which we all have him winning already, we all, especially me, I got to catch myself. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a hard fight, man. Stanionis ain't coming to lay down, bro. He is a champion as well. Next week is going to be fire, bro. And we're going to be talking about it next week. We're going to be breaking that down next week. You said Ennie was trying to trap you into 1.7. I think that question was probably meant for the Norman Senior, Norman Jr. I'm sorry. I didn't see that question when he was here. I did not see that question when it was here, but I could have read it out. Alberto, what's going on? My man Alberto, man. Family from Marco's channel, man. Now you're a part of the family here at the Hangout spot. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Quay was not a top 10 ranked guy. It was a voluntary defense. Norman got to show me something. Hey, listen, man. He still was a tough guy, though, Alberto. 27-1. 19 knockouts, 70%, over a 70% knockout ratio, had never been stopped, never been down. I don't know, man. I mean, tough dude. There weren't a lot of people that were saying that, he was going to be a walkover, even though he got walked over. I get it. I mean, there may be some people that agree with that, but I still think he was a tough dude. And again, you beat who's in front of you. And you do it in the best possible way you can. In boxing, there's no overtime. You don't get paid for overtime. Handle your business. If it's a guy that people think that you should take out early, take him out early. But then when you take him out early, you can't complain about that either, right? He did what he needed to do. Y'all want Turkey to get involved. They'll get y'all extra little well, root exposure. When Turkey gets involved, that's when the bags get bigger.
Straight cash, homie.
I mean, that goes without saying, man. Tio already ducked that Norman smoke. Tio talks a lot. Wanted to fight Norman, but what's going on? Get up to 147 and fight him. Norman will fight him. Brian Norman Jr. will definitely fight him. We didn't bring up Tio in this interview because I don't think that it's even going to be an option. Obviously, Tio has to handle business against Barboza. So there's a lot riding there. But I don't even know if Tio will ever get in the ring. I don't know. I don't know what Tio's doing, man. I'd love to be able to get Tio up in here, man. We are trying to make some moves, man, to see if I could get Tio up in here, man, because I think Tio would be an excellent interview. That hat was fire. You talking about the war hat? I'm assuming you talking about that war hat that I was telling Junior why you didn't wear it in the interview, man. Old school guy. He knows I'm an old school guy, and I love that that Hagler war hat. I'd fly to ATL to see Norman versus Barrios. Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Casual Jerry. Salute to you, my brother. Thanks for rocking out the Axiom. Hit that like button. That's right. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do that and subscribe. Tell somebody else to subscribe as well. Let them know Johnny does it up here at the Hangout spots, man. We trying to do the biggest and best interviews, best content. Get the chat involved. We family up in here, man. I appreciate everybody for rocking out on this Thursday night. And the Axiom, I did ask him your question. So hopefully you were here and you heard it. If not, you're going to have to give me an extra view and watch the recording after it's all done. After it's all done, it'll be at the Hangout spot on YouTube. While you're there, call somebody else and tell them to subscribe and watch it too, man. That's how we do it up for each other. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr., Casual Jerry. Yes, sir. We had WBO champion Brian Norman Jr. in the building a little while ago. If you missed it, again, make sure you check out the recording as soon as we are done. It'll be up at the Hangout spot, YouTube, within a matter of minutes. Little Zuda, Johnny 2 underrated, man. Hit that subscribe. Little Zuda, I appreciate you, man. I love doing this, man. I feel like I'm getting better and better. And sometimes you're going to face a little bit of adversity. Like I said, you know, the connection between the Wi-Fi connection where Junior was at was a little off. And I kind of felt like everything I said to him, it took him a little bit longer to hear. And then he would respond. And so that kind of threw me off. It wasn't as fluid as I'm used to. And I think he kind of felt the same thing. But it's all right. Because we fighters, man. We all fighters, man. Whether we in the ring or outside the ring, we fighters. So we fight through it, man. We fight through adversity and we make it work. It was still a banging ass interview, man. So again, if you didn't see the whole thing, or if you want somebody else to see it, share it with somebody else and tell them to subscribe. I appreciate that, my brother. Type shit. Damn, Mars. What's up, Mars? What's going on, man? What is going on, man? He was reading a manja. Bro was meditating on the universe. Yeah, man. You know, he's just he's a visionary, you know. I mean, I ain't gonna front, man. I'm also the type of dude, like I'll sit in the patio at night here. I ain't gonna lie, man. True story, man. If my wife was on here, she'd be able to tell you, man. I'll sit in the patio in the dark, just looking at the sky, my boxes, you know. 75 degrees out here in Florida. That's why I love Florida. Right now, I could walk out. It's 75 degrees. I'm sorry for all you people in the Northeast or wherever you at where it's cold. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a brag. But yeah, I could sit out there and I could look at the stars and I could just unwind, man. I could do it. But Brian seems that he weird, man. And yeah. So yeah, he laughing at that. He laughing at that, man, coach, man. My bad, coach. I didn't see you in the chat, or I would have pulled you up. That way Junior could have known that you was in the chat, man. I got my money on JR against all the champs, Junior against all the champs. And listen, I love what he brings to the table, man. And let's not forget, 24 years old. The future's bright. Quest, what's up? What's up? Shout out. This is dope. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you rocking out. We ain't through yet. We are not through yet. Champ, what's going on? Quest, first person not to say Ryan for speed. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, if you guys didn't see that, ask him how he would build a perfect fighter, you know, with speed, power, defense, footwork, IQ. I thought his answers were great. He surprised me on a couple, though. I thought for sure on defense he would say Purnell, but he brought up a good point of why he thought Purnell wasn't, and he went with Floyd. Can't go wrong. I mean, most people will say that Floyd's the most gifted or the best defensive fighter in boxing. Personally, me, I think it's Sweepy, but Brian Norman Jr. brings an excellent point, right, to the table. But IQ, heart, all that stuff, I mean, you know, I have no issue with that. I believe power was Wilder. Not many would disagree with that. Wilder, Foreman. You know, George Foreman was knocking people out in one era, and then he came back at 45, was knocking people out at that era. That's pretty crazy and unique if you ask me. Mo Brains, what's going on? We are back. Fire answer. Okay, so I guess I'm reading the part where I was talking about building the perfect fighter. Shout out to Norman Jr. Y'all made me feel a motherfucking fan. Badger One, what's going on, man? Thank you for rocking out. Keep your foot on their neck, my dog. Salute. Future king of boxing, man. It's hard to root against Brian Norman Jr., man, and Brian Norman Sr., man. Salute to the champ. Obviously, he was checking y'all out, bro. He was checking y'all out in the chat. He was making sure that y'all was straight in the chat. You know, Chico and Corrales, that was one that I brought up Ramirez as one of the best fights that I seen, you know, in my day and age. Top 5 welterweight in the house. Absolutely. Vega, what's going on, Vega? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Brian Norman Jr. by far, in my opinion, top 5. I would say even top 3, in my opinion, again, but I may be a little biased, or at least you guys will say a little bit biased, but I firmly believe that. Little Zuda, hate to say it, but Haney got beat like a stepson and made it to 12. He did. I give Devin Haney props, man. I mean, he went down how many times in that fight, but he still finished the fight on his feet, which is why I ask people all of the time. I think I asked Gabe Rosado that when we had him on at the Boxing Voice that night. Like, what do you consider chinny? Because before that, yeah, he got hurt one time. He got chin checked against Linares, but he didn't go down. But, you know, he did the little stanky leg. I get it. But he got caught with a good shot. I mean, most fighters are going to get hit with that shot, and they probably do the same, if not fall. He didn't fall anyway. But, you know, he did a little bit of a stanky leg. But we never seen Devin Haney down before that fight. Now, he went down a lot of times in that fight. But at the end of the day, he kept going up. So is that considered chinny? I don't know. Some people might say yes. Some people might say no. Some people might say more Gamboa, you know, is more of a chinny guy. Some people may even say, I've heard people say Trinidad was a chinny guy because he went down a few times in fights, even though he got up and did his thing. So it all depends, man. You know, Amir Khan is somebody I would personally consider chinny because to me, chinny isn't like you can get hit on the chin and go down. Most fighters, if you get hit flush on the chin, man, unless you're like, you know, some of these guys like Canelo or whatever that just, you know, they got granite in their chins. You know, if you get hit, you know, with a good shot from a good puncher in the chin and you go down, I mean, I don't think there's anything, you know, to be embarrassed about. To me, it's about how you get up from that knockdown, like the reaction. You know, do you recover fast? And Amir Khan just wasn't a fast recoverer, man. He just was a terrible recoverer. It's like he got up and he was still hurt, and he was still hurting. His legs, you know, a round later, you know, the legs were still rubbery, you know. So that to me is what I consider chinny, but everybody's gonna have a different opinion of what they consider that. Gotta go Ali Quest. Oh, yeah, that was when we were talking about you know, our old school stuff. Glad his dad not there. It was Floyd Jr., his pops on standby. If this was Floyd Jr., his pops be on standby. Nah, one of these days I got to get the Normans together, man. I think that would be dope. I'm gonna work on that one, man. I'm gonna work on that one, but it's gonna take some really, really good, creative questions that I can go back and forth with them with. I'm gonna work on that, man. I'm gonna work on that. They family, man. I'm rooting for Norman to beat Boots. So am I, Little Zooted. Hey, sister, what's going on? Thanks for rocking out and joining us, man. That's Superwoman 607. My sister's in the building. Much love, much love. Yes, he is laid back. Nigerian Nightmare, I just read your comment again. Ramirez said invest in farmland for your future. Yeah, it was weird when I asked Norman Jr. what he would be doing if he didn't if he wasn't a fighter. He said he'd be a farmer. Because he just likes to be outdoors, man. You know, and I do too. Reminds me of Quest said Norman reminds me of Crawford for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Vegas said in time he can beat Boots, which I guess you mean he can't do it now. I can respect that. You know, blue collar warrior, just like Hagler. Mo Brains. True Power Media, Junior, welcome to my farm in H-Town anytime, my brother. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to you, True Power Media, farm man. That's what's going on. Vega Norman seems to have star potential. When will Top Rank see it? That's a great question. That's actually a great question. You know, hopefully they will. Badger One is going Norman over Boots. Norman versus Barrio 2025 for Quest. I agree. That's the fight that I want. And then Boots. I agree with that as well. Totally. Wholeheartedly. Mo Brains ring IQ in those fights were off the charts. Why would Barrios lose to Norman when he could lose to the unified champion? Raw Dog, what's up, bro? Welcome to the Hangout spot, champ. Appreciate you. How you feel about the fair weather fan who ain't believe one day and all on All in on the next. Yeah. Listen, this is boxing, right? Again, there were a lot of people that didn't know who Brian Norman Jr. was before that Santillan fight. They didn't give him a chance. Then he did what he did. They were still down on him. It was a fluke. And then he does this. Now you got to respect him. Now you got to respect him, whether you like it or not. He is a player at 147, bro. Vega, Top Rank got to stop playing and get Norman a headline in the A. Agreed. Absolutely, man. Why would Barrios duck Norman? Badger 1? I don't know. I don't think he would. I think that fight is very, very makeable. I think it's very makeable. Hopefully in the summer, man. World Dog, ask him about Farmer getting beat like a slab of steak and Rocky. Oh, man, obviously I didn't see that question, Raw Dog. My apologies, man. My apologies. Because Barrios would think he has a better shot at Norman. Okay, you guys are going back and forth. Because if Boots is a unified champion, it's a bigger fight. Absolutely. But I mean, is Boots going to take that fight? Or I mean, are they going to go back to the negotiation table and have an issue with the purses? I would assume. Trust me when I tell you, like Brian Norman Sr. said yesterday, they want that Boots fight. If he wins next week, which I think that's going to be a tremendous fight. I think a lot of people have him winning already. I don't know if you should. Stanionis is tough. He's tough. We're going to break it down next week. He's tough. But they would certainly take that fight next if it would present itself. All right, so you guys are going back and forth with that. So I'm not going to read through all of those. Leonard versus Hearns. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mentioned that one. OC the boss. My man trying to get that CYP fight, man. Keep pressing, man. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you rocking out, man. We are here live and direct at the Hangout spot Thursday night. Barrios took shot in his last fight trying to crash out. Yeah, man, I mentioned that, He's he went 12 against Ramos. What was that, a draw? That was on the undercard of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man. He took a that was one hell of a fight too, man. Action packed, but you saw Barrios' face after that, man. He took a lot of punishment in that fight, man. I would love to see them do that fight again, though. But if not, fight Boots in the unification in the summer. I mean, I'm sorry, fight Norman Jr. in a unification in the summer, bro. Badger 1 sucks. These called warriors ain't about that life. No more watered down warriors except for Norman Jr. This is boxing, man. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. Muhammad Ali, coach. I guess you were talking about when we were talking about fighters, old school. Norman not headlining after that star-making performance is a travesty. Yeah, man. It is what it is. After that Santillan performance, you win a title. It should have been, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any doubt in my mind the next one will be a headliner, and it's going to be a big one. Hopefully in a unification, man. Good things come to those who wait, man. And that's what we've been, or at least me, I can speak for myself. That's what I've been reserved to be as a fight fan, man. Just can't get it today, then just be optimistic that you may get it tomorrow, man. Good things come to those who wait, because boxing disappoints all of us, man. It disappoints me. It disappoints you guys. I know it. That's why we're so we're not quick, especially me, man. Boxing has scarred me so much. I'm not quick to believe. Unless I see these guys on the negotiation, I see a signed contract. Well, you're not going to see a signed contract, but you know what I mean. Unless you see these guys at a press conference, I'm like, I don't even believe it's going to happen. Like, it's crazy. You can't believe what you read in social media either. Fight's a done deal. Then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, fight fell apart. He's fighting somebody else. You're like, what the hell happened? I thought this guy was going to fight this guy next in June. This is what boxing does, man. This is what boxing does. There's a banger for however long it lasts. Yeah, man. Boots versus Norman will be a banger. Heavy Chevy guy. Appreciate you jumping on, man. Question for the champ. I'm sorry, man. I didn't see this right off the bat, man. The champ was here. Question for the champ. Your last 2 fights have been stoppages. Where does the intensity come from? What goes through your mind in the moments before the ref calls it off? My bad, Heavy Chevy guy, that I did not ask that question, man. It was a little rough. This interview, like I said, I was trying to fight through some connection issues, so I was a little off and, very much into the interview. So I apologize if I did not get your question asked. What I'm going to probably do going forward is maybe get those questions beforehand. Yeah, like Ness does in the Boxing Voice, maybe put out a post, something like that. You guys can DM me your questions, and I'll try to get your questions in that way. so that I don't have to rely on watching the chat for the questions because I don't see it, because, it's shaded in. All I see is different words until I actually click on it. Um, Strangely enough, and I'm not just saying this because I want money, but the super chats I will see because the super chats come up colored, depending on, the amount of the super chat, it may be a blue. So that blue I will see, right off the bat, even when it's shaded in, and I'm not saying that for anything crazy, but you know what I mean. But I apologize. I think we're going to start doing things a little bit differently. When I got a guest like that, I will reach out to, to the community, to my viewers, or maybe you guys can DM some questions that I'll already have pre-prepared with your name and stuff like that. So we'll work on that, man. We're getting better. We live and learn, man. We're trying to get better and better every day here at the Hangout spot. Looks like it could be a career of 147 Vega. Yeah, that's what I asked him. He said he ain't going nowhere anytime soon. There's still a lot of food for him here, and he wants to eat, man. He wants to become undisputed. Wax, what's going on, champ? Thanks for rocking out, man. You are always here, all reliable, man. Appreciate you, Wax, for being a true supporter. How do you want to get it back against Boca Chica? Yeah, man. I'm sorry, man. Heavy Chevy, you got questions here that I was not able to ask. The champ while he was here. But next time we'll do things a little bit differently. Just bear with me. We're still learning, as we go along. But it still was an excellent interview, and you guys all came out for me. So I definitely appreciate that, man. Great interview. I appreciate you, Mo Brains. I thought it was good. We get through. This is how we do. Even bigger and better, going forward, trying to get the big names and everybody that we could possibly get up in here to interview. I interview them all, man. It don't matter if you're a prospect, a champion, a trainer, a cut man. I'm working on a referee. We're still working on the WBO president. He hit me up yesterday. Again, he's a busy guy, so I'm still working on that. Hopefully next week, if not the week after, we'll get him on. I think that's going to be an amazing interview because you know me, I get into nuances of the business of boxing. That'll be also one that I will request that you guys ask questions ahead of time for, so I can probably have those written down. If you have questions, I am saying great interview. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you, Nigerian Nightmare. I thought it was really, really good. Brian Norman Sr. said we different because we want all the smoke. He said that yesterday in the interview. He said it in the chat. He likes smoke too. He's just not open about it. Well, again, it's the way they deliver their messages, man. Junior's more of a quiet assassin. Brian Norman Sr. is more of that brash. He gonna let you know. He gonna tell you how he feel. Junior gonna make you feel how he feel. You know what I mean? Brian Norman, we know, Coach. We know you love the smoke, man. And he wants that. I know he wants that. That Boots fight next, man. But we'll see how it plays out, man. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, this is Senior, man. Johnny, are you working on a way for us to be able to call in or join your panel? Yes, Chad, I am working on that. Just trying to figure out which way I'm going to go. Am I going to have people jump on here? Or am I going to get a number that I'm going to have to be able to stream through my mixer? Not sure, but I'm working on it. I would say definitely at some point, in the end of the month, we should have something in place, man. I am working on it. I do want to get you guys a lot more involved in these shows rather than just having to read your comments, man. Yes, sir. The coach was in here. We know. Are you going to the TV fight chat this Saturday, Johnny? Yes, more than likely. If I'm home, yeah. I'll probably do the live fight chat with you guys. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I love your takes, Vega, man. Great interview, Coach. Thank you. Great interview yesterday with Senior. Great interview today with Junior, the WBO welterweight champion. I appreciate you guys jumping on, man. Yeah. You were thinking, okay, yeah. If you jump on, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Coach. You family, man. You are family. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the kind words. And like I said, man, Junior didn't have to jump on here. There's many people that are standing in line waiting to get an interview with Brian Norman Jr., but he showed me some love, man. So that means a lot to me, man. That means a lot to me. I see you guys were going back and forth in the chat. I'm not going to read all of those. You guys were going back and forth with Norman Sr. That's good that he got involved and he was going back and forth with you guys. That's dope. But yeah, man. So great interview. Next week, though, instead of a Tuesday show, we're going to do Monday. And the reason why is I'm going to have former Olympian, former Olympic medalist, bronze medalist, Amari Jones from Orlando, Florida, just won his pro debut a couple of weeks ago at Caribbean Royale, Orlando. I was there. Man, oh man, did his people come out, man. It was absolutely lit when he fought. This was his first pro fight, and he did not disappoint. My man came out with the Orlando Magic shorts to represent his hometown at Orlando, Florida. The crowd went crazy. He won via stoppage. You know, again, an Olympian. I think his future is extremely bright. He will be in the building with us Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to do a dope interview, man. We're going to do a dope interview. We're going to talk about his rise up through the amateurs, talk about his Olympic experience, and what it feels like to finally be a professional fighter, to win his pro debut by stoppage. So we're going to have Amari Jones in the building on Monday, and then I'm going to have another fighter on Thursday, still working on making sure that I'm going to get him on. So I don't want to announce that just yet. I will announce it on Monday. Maybe we'll do a third show. Maybe we'll do a third show if I could get the WBO president as well. We also got a review and preview next week, the unification between Jerron Boots Ennis and Imanis Stanionis. We got to review that as well. So next week is going to be a very, very busy week. But I appreciate y'all loving, y'all loving support and coming out for me, man. Today, this was a banging show, but I'm going to tap out of here. As always, this is your boy Johnny signing out from the Hangout Spot Live, and I will talk to all of y'all soon.